It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll go again to Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on it, and they pick up a first down.
They run with Jones on 1st down, but he'll struggle here just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers finds his receiver, Watson.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that's going to bring up the 4th down, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And they run the option on 2nd down. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. We're scoreless after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The drive will start with an option going left. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Play action. Now Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Here's second and a yard. On the counter, here's Jones. And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers eyes the crossing route and hits Watson. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Easy one.
They'll run the toss here. Edwards. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Solid effort by Jair Alexander there defensively.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their body.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packersons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Rodgers now to throw. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he's going to have a Packers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there is they were able to connect.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers finding Christian Watson. And the Packers have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Go ahead.
Throwing is Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
That sack doesn't change their offensive game plan. They always want to air it out and try and get the ball downfield quickly. They're going to have to block a little bit better, though, because the urgency and pressure just increase. Twice the distance now just to get a first down, and one less down to try and get it.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Jackson now. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big pickup of 38. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Edwards. Touchdown, Baltimore. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Cobb. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Back to throw, Rodgers. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. This defense so strong all afternoon long, well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
To throw is Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And some space here. Touchdown! Aaron Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. So minutes after giving up the lead in the fourth quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Throwing, Jackson. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Darnell Savage. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw a second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. They'll try again with Jones. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Jackson. And this one too low.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Now Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence and made it happen for a victory.
The NFL on EA Sports brings us to North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers. Eddie Pinheiro about set to get us going, and we are underway here in Charlotte. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
Hurts throwing right away. And incomplete to open things up.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And it's a fake. He's going to throw it, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And a Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Rams. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Stafford. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he is going to have a Rams first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They snap it to Stafford. Got an open man finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Rams. Van Jefferson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. but they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive, maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's certainly not the start that they envisioned, Charles. You give up the long touchdown drive, and there, an interception on their first play from scrimmage.
Brandon, I wonder if the mindset was simply, well, that was a long touchdown drive. Their defense might be a little relaxed and feel like, hey, we're in good shape now having 7 in hand. Maybe they just thought, let's take the shot at them right now. Instead, it went against them.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now a play fake it at Stafford. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a Rams 1st down on a pickup of 10.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Open man. He's got Jefferson across the formation. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
They'll run here with Akers. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Now Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, Charles certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throws on target to Duvernay. Finding room at midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
We changed it.
Now Jackson on 1st down. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Jackson on 1st down. Being chased out left. And this is going to be pulled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They'll run with Dobbins. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
2nd down and goal. Jackson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Rams are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Short completion, just 4 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return, the Ravens take over first and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and point